What's up, pups and pals? Here to talk about our subject of the week, puppies. Today we're going to be talking about our training. Yesterday, I believe we talked about the price of a puppy, and of course the video before that, we talked about our general topics, what we're going to be going over in our puppy segment. So let's get right into it. So for training, we had a question again from Rebecca. She wanted to know about the whole 18 weeks. What do you teach them? Is it potty training? Is it this? Is it that? And I would say the first thing you want to do as far as training is create a bond with your dog. Make sure they know their name. Find out if they're food motivated, if they're toy motivated, if they're prey driven, and kind of get what we call a behavior baseline. And that kind of is what makes my dog tick, what makes them happy, what they like, what they don't like, etc. Right at about 18 weeks when the puppies come to us, or when I get a puppy at about 6 or 8 weeks, that whole, I'd say it's about 6 weeks from that day. It's kind of just fun. It's bonding. It's getting to know them. They're getting to know us. We're creating a schedule. They're getting used to our feeding schedule. They're getting used to our potty schedule. And all of that ties into training. Food schedule, training schedule, potty time, all that is just subcategories in training. You want to get your dog trained to eat at certain times of the day, so they're just not looking for food whenever. That creates chaos in our dog's life. You want to get them on a potty training schedule so they know when they're supposed to hold it, how long they're supposed to hold it. They kind of get this mental clock inside their heads like, okay, the sun's coming up. I know mom's getting ready to get up. Usually when she gets up, she lets me out. That's the first thing she does, and they become conditioned to that. I've seen in my experience that when I do get up in the morning and I let my dog out first thing, if I continue that for a couple of days and then say I get up on that 5th day and I decide I want to brush my teeth, wash my face, eat first, usually there's a mess waiting for me in the cage. Dogs are going to get used to your schedule, so you want to stay consistent with everything you do. So with their potty training, if you take them out at 9 every day, take them out at 9 every day. Don't switch it up, or you can find messes. Typically, puppies can hold their bladder for about 4 hours, adult dogs for 8. And I think they tell us that just so we're not staying over at work, working 16-hour shifts. When you do have a dog, you got to come home and let them out. You got to have somebody that can come over, a dog sitter, a cousin, aunt, uncle, that can come over and let your dog out, whether you're coming home on your break and letting your dog out. The most important thing is that you just keep it consistent. So whatever you're doing, try to stick with it as your dog progresses, because they will become conditioned to your schedule. Also, another tip is to put like some ornaments, maybe Christmas tree bells, something along that nature on your door. So every time you hit your door, your dog is getting conditioned to that bell ringing. And what you'll get is a puppy around 32 weeks, maybe 4 or 5 months, that they'll go and start to actually hit the bell, coordinating that, oh, this makes the door open. And no, they actually don't know it's us opening the door, but all they hear is that bell, door opens, and they become conditioned to that. So that's kind of a trick in there to get your potty training jump started. As far as training with puppies, we do not try to put too much on them. We make sure they know their name, they know how to sit, they're friendly, they can be touched on their collar, they're not aggressive towards people, so we start socialization. All of these things we try to start as early as possible. And like I said, right around that 18 weeks mark, you want to start learning some recall, getting some name games, getting some focus, sit, a little bit of a stay maybe, some loose leash walking, all the way up until your dog progresses into the adult phase. It's always best to try to find a trainer, whether it's private or a group session, at your local feeder supply, Petco, wherever area you're in. I know there's a lot of places out there. There's a lot of people. Find a trainer that works for you, works around your schedule, works in your budget. Training can be pricey, so go ahead and like we talked about in our last video, money. Everything comes down to about money when it comes to our puppy and our dogs. So training is definitely something that I wouldn't cheap out on. You know, if you're going to cheap out on something, go get them a cheap bed, but not the training. The training is work, money, and time. And that's all it is. As soon as you get consistent with that and stick with it, training's a breeze. Your dog's is comfortable. They start to love it. They're like, hey, this dude's giving me food. He's playing with him. He's giving me the toy. And it's just building that bond. Laying on the couch, rubbing your dog's belly is not training. That's just creating separation anxiety. And I got a whole nother video for that. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Peace out.